Good afternoon from Bramlage Coliseum. Dan Lucero with you with an instant reaction after 12th ranked Kansas State defeats 19th ranked Iowa State 61 to 55. Bit of a rock fight at the Octagon of Doom this afternoon, but it's Kansas State who comes out on top and avoids a third straight conference loss. It's true what they say, after all, there's no place like home. And for Kansas State, no place like Bramlage Coliseum as they rally back from 8 points down at halftime to secure a vital conference victory. Kansas State was down 31-23 at the intermission, just couldn't get anything going on offense. Marquise Noel was 0 for 3 in the first half, didn't make a shot in the first 20 minutes of basketball. He came out, knocked down 3 3-pointers before the under-16 media timeout, then hit a big one late. Ended up with 18 of his game-high 20 points in the second half. Also contributed 6 rebounds and 5 assists to the winning cause for K-State. Your best players have to be your best players. Noel was that for K-State this afternoon. So was Keontae Johnson, who finished with 15. So he and Noel with 35 of the 61 points for Kansas State in the win. Iowa State, without Caleb Grill, could not find the range from behind the arc. They were just 5 of 27 on three-point shots in this one, 19 of 62 overall from the field, just a hair over 30%. And in the second half, just 7 of 32 from the field, 22% shooting for the Cyclones in the second 20 minutes as Kansas State outscored them 38-24 in the second half. A couple of talking points from this one. First start of the season for Desi Sills, and I don't think it's a coincidence. This is one of the best games K-State's played all year from a ball security standpoint. Wildcats only turned the ball over 11 times while forcing 15 Iowa State turnovers, and the points off of turnovers were a big advantage for K-State. They had 19 points off of those 15 Iowa State turnovers. Iowa State, meanwhile, just 7 points off of the 11 K-State turnovers. And I think a big part of that was having both Sills and Noel on the floor together for extended stretches. Two experienced ball handlers who took good care of the basketball and made sure that the offense functioned, even though Iowa State makes it really, really hard for your offense to function the way you want it to. That was crucial, I think. Desi Sills showing out in his first start of the year. Not big numbers for Desi. Finished with just 4 points, but had 3 assists, just 1 turnover, and also had 3 rebounds. And he had a big chase down block in the first half, a highlight reel defensive play on that end as well. Something else worth pointing out, I did mention the turnovers, just 11 of them for Kansas State in the victory. That's been their bugaboo in games that they've lost. I think they average about 18 a game in losses, and it's closer to 13 a game in wins. At least that was the case until a couple of games ago. I don't know how that number has fluctuated, but certainly to keep that number to 11 was a big, big part of their success. It was a gritty and grimy basketball game, no question about it. And Kansas State came up with some big stops. They didn't make a field goal for a 7.5-minute stretch in the final 10 minutes of the game. They got a layup from Keontae Johnson, took a 45-40 lead, then went 7.5 minutes without scoring with a 5-point lead, but never lost the lead. Went 4 for 4 from the line in that stretch, and then Noel hit his 4th three of the second half to break that drought with about 2:40 left in the half, push the lead back out to 5, and Iowa State never got any closer than that the rest of the way. K-State 18 of 22 at the free throw line in this one, including going 11 for 12 at the charity stripe in the second half. Doing all the little things that they had to do in this one to win and to get back on track because, of course, the Wildcats had lost back-to-back road games to the bottom 2 teams in the league standings. Although with a Oklahoma overtime win over Texas today, that loss looks a little less bad in retrospect for the Wildcats, given how they played in Norman on Tuesday. Oklahoma staying what I guess for them is hot. That's back-to-back league wins with an overtime win today over Texas in Norman. So Kansas State with the win gets to 20 wins this season, 8-6 in Big 12 play. It is the 6th win for the Wildcats over a ranked team this season. That ties a program record for a single season. Again, 61-55 is the final score this afternoon. Kansas State with the win. They're back at it against Baylor Tuesday night. And as we're speaking, Baylor's having themselves a whale of a time in Lawrence. They want to go 2-0 potentially in the Kansas two-step. Of course, they got to close out KU in Lawrence. We'll see if they can do that, but they are coming to Bramlage on Tuesday night. Another big opportunity against a ranked team for the Wildcats at home. We'll be there with a reaction of that one as well. But until then, this is Dan Lucero from Bramlage Coliseum and 580 Sports Talk saying so long from Manhattan.